Hi, everyone, and welcome to Follow the Cats, the Lander basketball show with Coach Jeff Burkhammer. I'm Ralph Patterson. Coach, it's tourney time.
It's tournament time. It's unbelievable. It's here already. It just seems like the season went extremely quick this year. Maybe that's the weather. The weather has been so crazy, and it just seems like it should be basketball season. From being up in West Virginia, this is how the weather is. Cloudy and gloomy and rainy all throughout the basketball season, and maybe that's why it seems like it shouldn't be over. But we're here at the end, and about time to get into tournament play.
Well, but since we last were together, you have played on national TV. I want to talk about that because that was pretty cool. You lost that game, but then you went, and when you really needed a W, you went and got one on the road. So we got lots to talk about.
Well, it would have been nice to have gone to a 2-0 week. We got a 1-1 week, and we thought going into the last three games, knowing all three games were on the road, that we had to get at least 2-1. And we were able to do that. We went 2-1 in those final three games. Would have loved to have the game in Augusta. It was a tough game down there, but it was a great thing to play in.
So let's talk about Georgia Regents. Really good team.
Really good team.
Did they end up securing the site for the semis and finals for the Peach
It depends
Bowl?
on how they do in the first round.
Okay.
If they win in the first round, then yes, they'll host the semis and finals. But it's crazy because if them and Pembroke both lost, we could end up securing the first round. So a lot of things to still play for in the tournament, and I'm sure we'll talk about the tournament a little bit later. But Georgia Regents got a really good team. They won 10 games in a row, and they're playing as well as anybody in the league. We knew going in there we'd have to play very well, and I thought we played pretty well. And just didn't make enough shots, especially in the second half. And that's kind of been our thing this year. If we've shot the ball well, we've been pretty good. And just didn't make enough shots. Even good shots, open shots, just didn't go down in the second half.
Well, let's go to the highlights, and we're talking about Lander at Georgia Regents, and we'll be wearing some different kind of uniforms, going camo.
Well, we went camo, and it really was difficult, I think, for both teams. Their uniforms came out a lot whiter than they were supposed to come out. They were supposed to be a lot more tan and brown, and it really was difficult, I think, for the players. I think it would have been difficult for the media and TV folks to kind of tell us apart, but we played through it, and that's kind of how it was. But it was neat to play in those uniforms. They auctioned them off after the game for a good cause with the troops and all being there. So we worked through it, but it wasn't an easy thing with both uniforms being so similar.
Okay, let's go to the highlights.
Ralph, I listened to the broadcast. I went back and watched the CBS broadcast, and it was a terrific job by them. You could tell that they did their homework and was really good with the announcers. This is early in the game here. Terrific pass from J.R. Washington, hitting Tobias Hose on the baseline for a nice basket. But you can see, even watching the clips now, how similar the uniforms were, and that made it a little bit more difficult. Nice transition here. Kier Crouch to Tobias. Tobias had another good game. I got to think he's definitely an all-league player.
He's got to be.
Beach Belt Conference Player of the Week twice, and he's had some huge games, but I got to think he's an all-league guy. Good to see J.R. Washington kind of getting out of a shooting slump, shot the ball well, made some threes for us, and came back even in the next game with Georgia College and shot it pretty good. Georgia Regents, usually a really good defensive team. They're just solid. They don't get out and pressure as much as they just keep you in front. And here we were able to take advantage. There's our all-league guy in Hose making a terrific play to the rim.
And a great crowd.
Great crowd. Completely full, 1,000 troops. Just really a great environment to play in, a fun Division II basketball game. Good putback there by Ricardo Martin. We come down now. Needing to get a stop at the end of the half. We go to trapping it. Asger Jork comes up with a steal. J.R. Washington has great feel here. Gets to Hose in the corner to finish the half on a three that cuts the lead to 2 at halftime. Kind of give us some momentum going into the half.
And that was huge, and the announcers mentioned that. And that was not an easy shot. They at least got a hand up.
Got a hand up on him, and he was able to make the play. Nice to get Kier going a little bit early in the second half. He had been in foul trouble in the first half, and we had to sit him for a while, so good to see him get back on the floor and making plays. Beautiful job here in zone offense, high-low look, Ricardo Martin to Scotty Elder. Can't draw it up any better than that. That's perfect execution.
And a bounce pass, how about that?
Great play getting the ball underneath those big guys' hands. Out in transition again here, another nice move by Tobias. He's so good in the open court making plays. Go a little bit of flex action. Just trying to get some movement. We're trying to post Tobias here, and he makes an unbelievable play on the baseline. Gets by his defender and kind of reaches back around with that left hand to make a really nice shot. Here playing against their zone. And we've talked a lot about penetrating the zone, playing inside out, moving the ball side to side, and good patience here. A little dribble entry action. JR gets the ball up, moves the zone again side to side, and we get another good look at it from the top. Nice three-point shot by JR Washington.
It looked like in their zone, they were really concentrating, too, on not letting you drive gaps.
Yeah.
Which meant you got to hit some
shots. Got to hit some shots. And, in this game, we made some shots, especially in the first half. Against the zone in the second half, not quite as good. So you got to go to things like this, penetrating and getting by people. Kier is very good at that, and we're able to get to the basket. But the big thing, Ralph, in the second half, we just didn't shoot the ball well enough. We shoot 30% in the second half. And, I think that was probably the biggest thing in the game, 30% from threes and 28% from the floor. And a lot of the shots were good shots. They weren't shots as a coach you're upset with us taking. They weren't forced. They weren't bad shots. Kier goes 3 of 12, and probably 5 or 6 of his misses are the 12 to 15-foot pull-ups that he's made the entire year. He's coming off being sick a couple days, and he just didn't make shots. And if you look down through, we go 2 of 8, 3 of 10, 7 of 17, and just that was the bottom line. We played well throughout the game. We got to the foul line 20 times and made 18 free throws. We rebounded with them. We got 14 offensive rebounds. We only turned it over 10 times. Good, solid game overall, I thought, for us. Just didn't shoot the ball well enough to beat a good team.
Now, the good news for me is that if you play them again, which I hope you do, you nearly defeated them here. You know that you can play with them. You lost in overtime at home. And you had your chances. You had your chances there. And
really,
and
the game
I hope you get a chance to play them again.
And the game turned at the beginning of the second half. We had 2 or 3 turnovers that were bad decisions by us that turned into quick points that allowed them to get about a 10-point lead. And then the game stayed right at 10 to 12 points basically the rest of the game. We got it back to 6 real late. But, we'd love to play them again. And if we win in the first round of the tournament, we might have a chance to play them in the semifinals because they're in our bracket.
So, you mentioned that you finished the season with 3 straight road games. That's game number 2.
Yes.
So now you're 1-1 in your final 3. I don't know who made the schedule for you to put you on the road 3 straight times, but that's another subject. And now, really important game at Georgia College.
Got to go to Georgia College and play a dangerous team there. They're a team that has struggled throughout the year record-wise, but they've played everyone close throughout the season. We knew it was going to be a struggle over there. It always is. They're a team that can make threes if you don't guard them. And sure enough, early in the game, they came out firing and made a bunch of threes early. 8 for 12 in the first half in three-point range. Some of it had to do with us not finding them in transition. Some of it had to do with us just not doing a great job with all of our switching that we were doing in this game because they basically played 4 or 5 guards at a time. The second half, much better. Get out and guard them. They go 4 of 18 in the second half from threes, and really that's the difference in the game. We decided to guard a little bit better, and because we guarded better, we were better offensively. We got some transition baskets. We got some quick, easy looks at the rim, and the second half, I think, kind of took the game over.
Now, sometimes the stat sheets don't tell everything, and I want to ask you about Crouch's line. He played 34 minutes. Mm-hmm. He's often been a stat machine, but he had a different kind of line. But I think he played well.
Played a pretty good game.
Didn't turn it over.
Didn't turn it over. Didn't shoot it well again, even though he took good shots. But he did a pretty good job running our team. He has 6 rebounds. He has 4 assists. He pushes the ball.
0 free throws.
Yeah,
that's unlike him.
Which is unlike him too.
Right.
They played zone the entire game pretty much, which we thought they would. And he just didn't get the foul line in this game. We got there 33 times again, which is terrific. But it wasn't Kier that got there. It was more Ricardo Martin gets there 10 times. Scotty Elder gets there 6 times. Washington was 9 of 9 from the foul line. So we got to the foul line. It just wasn't Kier.
Well, let's go to the highlights. This is Lander at Georgia College.
They were coming off playing in front of a big crowd on homecoming, and then this night was senior night, and it wasn't near as big a crowd, so there wasn't a great environment, a great energy in the arena. So we had to come out and find ways to get going a little bit. Thought we struggled early in the half of kind of getting moving. Here we did a pretty good job moving the ball against their zone and getting an open three. Finally get running. This is a nice run out here, Kier, to Tobias for an easy basket. But it was a struggle, Ralph. The entire first half was back and forth. We finally get a three-point lead at halftime. And they're shooting the ball well and they're playing well. And we really had to challenge our guys at halftime to play with an urgency, understand what the game meant to us with NCAA playoff possibly in line, and we just had to come out and play better. And fortunately, we finished the half well, and then we came out in the second half and really played a very good second half, especially an excellent last 13, 14 minutes of the game. Again, nice job moving the ball side to side. Mike Lee came in and hit 2 threes for us in the first half. See him hitting one there, and he kind of hurt his ankle a little bit. He's fine, but got him out of the game. Here he is again, pushing it transition. We get a nice follow-up there with Tobias.
Is that where he hurt his ankle?
No, actually it was getting around the guy defensively, where he kind of tweaked it a little bit. We got him out, but he's fine. He'll be ready to go this weekend.
Good. I saw he played 6 minutes.
Yeah, now that was why. Nice job here. Good penetration to zone and getting to the basket. Really helped us a little bit there as far as just not having to shoot all jump shots. Still in the first half, trying to get a little bit of movement. Here, it actually went man-to-man late in the half. We're trying to get a post up here. We were a little bit bigger. Nice job by Ricardo. Patience, shot fake, nice finish.
Nice to see somebody playing man-to-man for a change.
Yeah, and we only saw a few possessions of man-to-man in this game, but did a pretty good job of attacking it. I think we will see some more man throughout the Peach Belt tournament. Really nice job here. We did a great job in the second half of skip passing and attacking the zone. There you see a nice skip from our big guy to Tobias, and then boom, attacks off the baseline. Good. Another penetration to another skip pass. This was a big play in the game. The game is pretty close right there, and JR hits a 4-point play. Hits the three, gets the foul, goes to the line, and then we really closed the game out from there. Played very well on both sides of the ball. End up with an 83-65 win on the road with a team that has played everybody very close throughout the year. So it was a good win, good way to finish the regular season and maybe have some momentum going into the tournament.
I want to ask you about some of the game. I went to the, you got me on looking at stats. Again, folks, he's got his yellow stuff and blue stuff on the stat sheet. But I went to the play-by-play and looked, and you didn't take the lead for good until about the 11-minute mark.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you pushed it to 10, to 15. I think you had a 21-point lead
Yes.
at one point. So what did you do from the 11-point or 11-minute stretch on to just play great down the stretch on the road? That's not easy to do.
Well, it's funny because we went into that under 12-minute timeout and said, guys, we need a spurt right here. We need 2 or 3 stops, 2 or 3 good possessions. Let's open this thing to 10 or 12 points, and then they'll struggle to get back in it. And sure enough, we had a little spurt right there where we did that, and then they started taking quick threes, contested threes, and those long shots created runouts for us, and next thing you know, it went from 12 to 16 to 20 quickly. And it really wasn't that we played a whole lot different. They missed shots, and we got some things in transition, and then we attacked a little bit better. I think we went on a 24-3 run, and that just opened the game up, and then by that time, they knew their season was over, and they kind of quit playing a little bit late in the game, and we were able to close the game out.
And out-rebounded them by 20, 51-31. You see rebound margins. You don't see that decisive.
Well, not only out-rebounded by 20, but we had 21 offensive rebounds, and we should have. We were bigger. We were a little bit more athletic than them. They were playing with a lot of guards in the lineup, trying to shoot threes and making the game quick that way. So one of the ways that we thought we could attack was, get on the glass. Let's get some second shots. We missed first shots. Let's get some second ones closer. And if you look at our rebounding totals, Ricardo Martin goes for 16 points and 15 rebounds. Terrific game offensively for Ricardo. And then we got, Hose's got 12 rebounds. Washington's got 9 rebounds. And, you got your guards rebounding there real well, and it's a plus 20 rebounding margin.
And you got 25 more points from the foul line. So, again, you guys continue to get to the foul line. Does every coach you play against before the game, I would. If I'm playing against you, I'd say, they're good enough. You don't need to put them at the foul line 33 times a game. They would have heard that from me in warm-ups.
Well, and they're hearing from me that, hey, we're going to attack you. We're going to get to the basket, keep calling fouls throughout the 40 minutes. And when you have good officials, they'll keep calling it. We got to the foul line 33 times in this game. Even though they played zone most of the game, we were still able to attack, whether it be off the bounce, off the rebound, in transition, different ways that they put us to the foul line.
And other than the number of times you get to the foul line, both attempts and makes, you're still leading that statistic
Yes.
in the Peach Belt Conference, right? Any other stats you want to talk about?
Well, offensive rebounding, I think, is the other one that we've been really good with. I think we're 7th in the country in offensive rebounding. We're 1st in the league. That's an area that we've got to continue to really go after because we haven't shot the ball great. So if there's more misses, we got to get second and third shots closer to the basket. Getting to the foul line and making free throws and getting to the offensive boards have been real big for us to score this season.
And then standings-wise, as we go into the conference tournament, explain the standings and seeding and all that stuff.
Well, it was a really neat finish to the season. The West Division was just crazy going into the last game. You had 4 teams vying for 2 spots. And you had Southwestern playing at North Georgia. Basically, the winner's in, the loser's out. And then you had Young Harris playing at Montevallo, which was a big game. And you had Clayton playing at Columbus. It just ended up with Young Harris, who's now won 7 games in a row, but loses their last game. They still get in because of what else happened, and Georgia Southwestern beat North Georgia. So we end up with Montevallo number 1 in the West, Columbus number 2, Southwestern 3, and Young Harris 4, which puts Young Harris going to Augusta in the first round. It puts Southwestern going to Pembroke, Lander going to Columbus, and then Aiken going to Montevallo. So 4 really tough first round games this weekend. Games are played on Saturday and Sunday. We're actually playing at Columbus on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. But an interesting finish to the year. North Georgia had been up there. They'd been in the region rankings. They fall all the way out, going 0-3 in their last 3 games, all the way out of the Peach Belt tournament. So interesting finish to the league. Got some teams playing really, really well to finish the year. I think Georgia Regents has won 11 straight now. Montevallo's won 5 straight. Pembroke's won 5 straight. And then Young Harris and Southwestern both have played really, really well down the stretch. We won 4 of our last 6. So a lot of things can happen this weekend in the Peach Belt tournament.
So let's talk about the Peach Belt tournament, and really, you need a W on Sunday for 2 reasons: to survive and advance, but also to try and move up a little bit more in the regional standings.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing. We're on the bubble right now for the region. The new region poll came out. We were 9th again this week. That was before Wednesday's games. North Georgia was above us at 8th. So I think we will jump them because they lost on Wednesday night. But we're still right there on the bubble, and we would need probably a little bit of help, Ralph. If we would lose in the first round of the tournament, then we need teams in those other leagues to make sure that the Lincoln Memorials win their tournament or Mount Olive wins their tournament. There's no upsets where you can get bumped out. But if we could win on Sunday, get to the semifinals, and make a little bit of noise in the Peach Belt tournament, we secure our spot a little bit better. So it's an important game Sunday to go in and play well on the road. We're coming off road wins. So we know we can go on the road and win, but we're playing a really good team, and we know it's going to be a challenge going over there. And if we can go over there and play well, we got a chance to win and maybe put ourselves in a little bit better position for the NCAA tournament and advance to the semifinals in the Peach Belt tournament.
And you had said last week that you really thought that there was a good chance that the Peach Belt would get 5 teams in the NCAA regional, and looking at the regional rankings, unless somebody in the South Atlantic Conference upsets Lincoln Memorial, that's probably going to happen.
I really think it will happen. I mean, I don't see any way that.
Have there ever been 5?
Yeah, we've had 5 in the past, a couple different times. I think just the strength of our league and within the region warrants that. But if you look at it, Pembroke, Montevallo, Augusta, and probably Columbus, I think are all locked. I think those teams are all in. Mount Olive and Lincoln Memorial are definitely in. So then it comes down kind of to us and King and Newberry was at 10th. Maybe for that last spot, provided there are no upsets in the conference tournaments.
Okay, you mentioned Mike Lee and his ankle in the last game. Health-wise, how are the Bearcats going into the tournament?
I think pretty good. It's like most teams at this time of the year, you're going to have some bumps and bruises, but I don't think we have anything that's major. Nothing that's going to keep a guy from playing. We just need to have 2 good days of practice without injury. Make sure we're prepared going over there and going to have a really good game.
Well, then let's just make sure this is not the final Lander basketball show, Follow the Cats. we need a couple more W's so we can keep this thing going. You okay with that?
That'd be great. That'd be great. We're going to try to go over there and play well against a Columbus team who, at the beginning of the year, I picked them as the best team in the league. I thought they had excellent bigs, very athletic. Thunderberg is one of the best players in the conference. It'll be a challenge. You know, we played them here. We were ahead at halftime. Second half, they played phenomenal. I think they shot 72% the second half against us. So we know that going over there will be a good challenge. But I think our guys are excited about playing. I think our preparation will be very good. We'll do some different things maybe to make them step back and think for a second. And then we'll battle. I think we'll go over there and battle. I think guys are excited about playing. You know, we've got to 19 wins. We'd like to get that 20th win. It's always a nice thing to do. You know, we have pictures in our locker room of all the teams that have won 20 games, so that's something we've talked about. Let's get our picture up there with our 20th win. The 19 wins in a regular season is the most since the 2000 season at Lander. So we've done some really good things, and now it's time to take that next step, hopefully, in the tournament.
Well, good luck. Bearcats play Sunday, 4 o'clock, Peach Belt Conference quarterfinals, and then more.
And then hopefully Saturday and Sunday of the following weekend. And then that next Sunday we'll know kind of where we're at in the region. Tournaments will be over, and they'll have the selection show that Sunday night, and we'll know exactly where we're at that point.
Cool. Well, good luck. Let's get some W's.
Let's get some W's.
Okay, that's about it. We'll see you next time. We're going to have another show, so we'll join you next time for Follow the Cats, the Lander basketball show. For Coach Jeff Burkhammer, I'm Ralph Patterson. Our time's up. Thank you for yours. Goodbye, everybody.